Okay. Little bit of a rant. You don't need to slug. Okay. Bit of a rant here. If you're playing as killer and there are 4 people, right? 4 people. Played as killer. All 3 of them are closely grouped together. All 3 of them are injured. You down one and you're right next to a hook. What's your next move? You would assume your next move would be to grab that person, put it on a hook. I say otherwise. Instead, me, this guy, I will chase after the other injured killer. Why? Logic. The person that's downed will have to heal themselves unless they have a perk that lets them get up from injured instantly. Which means that's at least 30 seconds of them having to remain in a stationary position. So long as you keep track of where they are, all you gotta do is remember where they are. They're gonna be there, trying to heal themselves. So, you chase after another person that's downed. Now, another person that's injured. Now, when the second person that you is downed, what is your next move? Simple. If the 2 other people that you're chasing, if they're still together, right? If they're still together, down one, chase the other. Firstly, why would you stick together if you've got a killer, a stealth killer, chasing after you? Why would you do that? Quite simply, don't do that. Do not ever, never ever run with someone while you're injured and being chased by the killer. Split up. Why? Because if you have a good enough build that you can loop the killer while injured, you can distract the killer while the 3rd survivor goes back and heals the downed one. You call it, people say, oh, it's slugging, you know, oh, you downed him, and blah, 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 blah. You know, you get annoyed that the killer downs one, then doesn't hook them. I understand you can get annoyed by that, but firstly, you should be able to, if you're the downed person, don't heal. Crawl away. Go. You have 2 people that are distracting the killer. Run. Or crawl. Crawl away. Get as far as you can from where you were downed. High chance the killer won't know where you are. But because you're downed, the other survivors can see you. So while Survivor 2 is distracting the killer and Survivor 3 has split away from Survivor 2, Survivor 3 can come heal you back to full. You then heal your mate back to full, and suddenly it's gone from 3 injured killers to 1 injured killer. No, sorry, 3 injured survivors and 1 injured survivor and 2 healed survivors. You can then, as the survivors, run to the killer, distract, and survive like that. If you're not doing that, and the killer decides to drop and not hook you, that's on you. I play Survivor main, and I know this. I main as a survivor. I don't play killer often. I main as survivor, and I know if I am dropped and I am not hooked, I get the hell away from where I was dropped. It's simple logic. You try to survive. If the killer drops you, and there are 2 other survivors that are both injured, both of them should run away. The killer will chase them. You get the hell away from where you were dropped, go behind a rock, behind a tree, into a bush. I don't care. Get away. Start healing yourself. The two survivors stop running together. The killer can see your scratch marks. He can hear your grunts. If at some point the killer radius disappears, he's gone stealth. He's still chasing you. And if you're playing Ghostface, never look at Ghostface. Ever. Never look at Ghostface. You look at Ghostface, Ghostface gets a notification of where you are. Never look at Ghostface. If you see him, if you see Ghostface, hide behind a freaking tree. Get behind a rock. Simple shit like this that makes you a good survivor. Like the other guy, I've got 200 hours in this game, playing Survivor 180 hours. As killer, your goal is to kill 4 survivors. Any means is valid. As survivor, your goal is to escape. Any means is valid. So again, you're playing a stealth, if you are survivor and you're playing against Ghostface, do not look at Ghostface, because then, unless you're the person designated as the looper, if you look at Ghostface, he'll get notification on where you are. Killer Instinct. On top of that, if he's running a perk that extends Killer Instinct, then he's going to know where you are for longer. He will zoom in on you. Make sure you're the looper if you're doing that. And again, if you're playing Survivor, there are 4 survivors. You're all injured. You go down. Ghostface starts running after the 3 survivors. Right? One of you run to the left. The other one run to the right. The other one keep running in the middle. Ghostface will choose which one. So the killer, I'm playing Ghostface, so we'll say Ghostface. Ghostface will choose the one he wants to chase. That one, you're gonna hope, is the looper. If you want to manipulate Ghostface into chasing you, don't move for just a moment. Run around in a circle. Act as the distraction. Any killer not knowing of that strat will chase after you. And if you're the looper, you're fine. Now, what are your other 2 friends gonna do? One of them should go run and get on a gen and start doing a gen. The other one should run double back, go all the way around the other side of the map, find the down survivor, heal him back to full. Down survivor then heals you back to full. You now have 2 perfectly healthy survivors, 1 looper who's injured, and 1 person on a gen. Those 2 survivors then go to the gen, heal that one. By that time, the looper is down. Ghostface doesn't know where the hell you guys are. Right? No idea where you guys are. Okay? People are more interested in complaining about the whole slugging thing than they are about coming up with strats to survive while being slugged. Xenomorph. Hold on. Is it Xenomorph? Xenomorph is the only survivor that will reveal the location of a downed survivor. I think it's just Xenomorph, unless it's something else as well. Is it just Xeno? Yes, it's just Xenomorph, right? And Weave Attunement to an extent, but that's only if there is a item on the ground where you are downed. So, for the love of God, you play Dead by Daylight, stop complaining about slugging, and instead think of plans to get around the whole slugging thing. You have, as a survivor, 3 other people. Even if you are solo queued, every survivor should know the strat. Everyone should know, oh, this killer is slugging people. What's the counter to that? Yes. Run. when you have lost the killer, run back, heal the slugged, and the person that's down should, again, crawl away. Don't just stand there. There have been games where I've played as killer on stream. You can go have a look at my archives. Sorry, I'm going on a bit of a rant, but this annoys me so much. There have been games where I have won, not because I've hooked anyone, but because I've hooked 3 survivors, and I couldn't find the 4th because they bolted. As downed survivor, they left. They disappeared. Right? They were out. The only reason I won was because they were so far away from the killer shack that I got there first to close the hatch. That's it. And right there, that's not even a win. That is a technicality at best. So, if you're complaining about slugging, it's not a matter of the fact that you hate the fact that the killer is slugging. It's simply put, and this is coming from a survivor main, simply put, it's because you, as a survivor, haven't developed a counter to a killer's slugger stat, a strat. Work on it, because for the love of God, I'm worked up now. I'm gonna do one more. I'm gonna do one more now. I really should be going to sleep. I need rest. You know what? Hold on, I'm opening my blinds. My eyes are a bit sensitive to light right now, but you know what? I need sun on me. But for real, if you are facing a killer who slugs, have a strat in your mind ready that you can use to counter that strat. Because there is ways to counter it. And primarily it involves pissing off from where you were downed. Staying there and going is not a good way of surviving.